Hi, and welcome everybody to another edition of the Winner Circle Sports Betting Podcast. It's Monday, September the 26th, and as always on Mondays, I'm joined by that handsome fella on the other side of me, Mr. Doug Upstone of DocSports.com, and we got a couple free college football picks on Friday. Doug, how are you?
I'm doing well, Ross, and I'm excited. Hey, got some great football action coming up, and on a Friday, no less, too.
Yeah,
That's even better. So that's fun.
yeah.
Not going to be always the case, but this week definitely got some good stuff going.
Yeah, and we're going to set you up for the weekend with a couple free winners here, folks. And we're going to start with Doug, as he's going to take a look at the nationally televised game between Washington and UCLA from the Rose Bowl in Los Angeles. Doug, what do you got?
Well, let's see. We're looking at this is really good. Got two teams 4-0, okay, in the Pac-12. One the North Division, one the South Division, with Washington at UCLA. Now, Washington has easily surpassed all expectations early in the year. They got the number one passing offense led by Michael Penix Jr. under a new coach, Kalen DeBoer. DeBoer had some excellent work done at Fresno State. He's come forward, brought it. Penix has gotten now bigger and stronger, it appears, just by his his physique. And so with that, this team is just on fire offensively, averaging well over 40 points per game. But they also have a nice running game, and they're very aggressive on defense, Ross. They're holding opponents 61 yards below their average and almost 6 points per game then, too. UCLA, though, they're 4-0. Now, the skeptics in UCLA in Los Angeles aren't sold on this team. I think they're actually pretty good. They had one really kind of ugly game, and, not the attendance has been pretty poor, at the Rose Bowl thus far. But Dorian Thompson Robinson, really good dual threat quarterback, matured. Also, he's a senior, doesn't run as much. Used to, whenever he got in a little bit of trouble, he would just take off running. Now he's looking for more to pass the ball. Great running game. Number 17 in the country was Zach Charbonnet and Keegan Jones. This offense also throws for nearly 290 yards per game. We got the number 12 UCLA offense in the country versus number 5 Washington, Ross. So in this one, I'm looking at, it's going to be a high scoring game. The total's at 65.5. UCLA, as I mentioned, hasn't been great. I think it should be. It's a night game. Nobody can complain about the heat. UCLA is 9-2. Straight up, and 8-3 against the Huskies at the Rose Bowl, and comes in as a 3.5-point underdog. Now, UCLA is 23-7 at home after scoring 42 points or more, like they just did at Colorado. And underdogs, Ross, of 3.5 to 10, like the Bruins are, that are allowing 4.8 or less yards per game after gaining 475 or more in their previous game. They are 23-4. I'm taking the points with UCLA as a home underdog, and would not be at all surprised, Ross, if they won this one outright.
UCLA plus the 3.5 at home over Washington from Doug Upstone of DocSports.com. Folks, check him out. DocSports.com. He's a consistent winner, and I think he's in for a hell of a month of October, like myself. Again, Doug, Michael Penix looking like the freshman quarterback at Indiana, and then he regressed there, and now he seems to have found his niche again, and he's got a better surrounding talent, so good for him. Anyway, let me get to my game real quick here. It's the New Mexico and UNLV game. That game goes 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern time on Friday evening. UNLV opened as a 16-point favorite in its contest. They're now down to 14. Of course, people see UNLV as a double-digit favorite, and I'm sure that sparked a lot of interest on the underdog. And when I look at the betting trends in terms of tickets and money bet so far, overwhelmingly that's been on New Mexico, and they're begging you to take the underdog, and people are falling for it. And look, this is a New Mexico team coming up a 38-0 loss at LSU last week. Nobody expected them to beat LSU, but they weren't competitive whatsoever, especially offensively. They were held to 88 yards of total offense and averaged exactly 1 yard per offensive play. That's absolutely horrible, folks. 3 games versus FBS opponents this year for New Mexico, 13 points scored per game, and only 170 yards of total offense per game. So this is an anemic offensive team. UNLV, on the other hand, coming off a 34-24 road win at Utah State, covering as a road favorite, which UNLV is a road favorite. Those that sentence and those phrases haven't been used in I don't know how long. Anyway, they're now 3-1 on the year. How about them running Rebels? +8 turnover differential so far this year. 3 games against FBS opponents offensively. Unlike New Mexico, this team is racking up the yardage and the points, 35.3 points per game in those 3 contests. Also over 400 yards of total offense per game. And you know what, Doug? Since 10/30 of 2018, New Mexico 1-18 straight up and 4-15 against the spread on the road. I know I'm going to be in the minority here, but I don't mind being so. I'm going to take UNLV late of 14 over New Mexico. And Doug Upstone, he likes the UCLA Bruins plus the 3.5 at home over the Washington Huskies. Doug, quickly, how could they find you and what you might have going on?
Yes, Doug Upstone at DocSports.com. Real simple there. Have been just continue to be red hot in baseball, 20-8, over 71%. So in the early part of the week, check me out, especially. Okay. And the weekend, Ross and I will cover that on our next video on Thursday and have some great action for you then, talking about the NFL. And he's right. New Mexico might be the land of enchantment, but not when it comes to the football team.
Well, UNLV either, but you know what? Somebody's got to cover this game, and I think I'm on the right side. I think we're both on the right side. So anyway, you can find me at rbwins.com. That's rbwins.com. Folks, on a good start to the NFL season, 13-5. College football dating back to last year. I am 50 and 36. So pretty good, Doug. And all together in the NFL, college football combined to start the year, we're off to an excellent, let me see, you're 15 and 13. We're off to a good start.
I think you told me 27-15 as I think
27-15. There it is, 63%. A lot of numbers running through my head here. Anyway, you can find me at rbwins.com. And again, folks, all single game and multi-game daily packages are guaranteed. If you don't win, you don't make a profit. You get your money credited back to your account, whatever you spent. So it doesn't get any better than that. Until next Thursday, for Doug Upstone and Ross Benjamin, I should say next Thursday for Doug. I'll see you tomorrow. But for Doug Upstone and Ross Benjamin, we'd like to wish each and every one of you all the very best. Good luck and God bless, folks.